Hey guys, welcome to my channel Bokeh Joanne, and today I'm going to show you how to make a beanie, but I'm going to start with different parts. So the first part that I'm going to show you is how to make a drawstring, and that's the first section of the beanie hat that I'm going to show you. I already made one. I already made the beanie string, drawstring. As you can see, it's right here, but I did the video tutorial for this, but I guess the yarn was too dark, so I couldn't be able to go ahead and post it, so I had to redo it over again. So but I'm going to basically use the color that is toast, chocolate, and then mid blue. But all these colors are from Red Hat soft yarn, so they are Red Hat soft yarns, and this one is going to be for my nephew, and he is 11 years old. So let's go to work right now. You will need scissors for the project. You will need a needle, and of course a hook, and I will recommend you to use 5.0 millimeters. But if you are the kind of person who crochet too tight, I will go ahead and recommend you to use a bigger size needle, and it can range between 5.5 to 6 millimeters, so depending on how tight you crochet. Because the first part of the project that we're going to do, it's going to be a slip stitch. So the slip stitch tends to make the stitches a little bit too tight, so because they make the project a little bit too tight, so that's why I recommend to use a bigger size needle for those who crochet too tight. Okay, and actually, so I'm going just to use the basic stitches that you already know, or some of them you already know them, but I'm going to crochet them differently to create my designs. All right, so I already chained. I'm using the color red because it's more brighter, so you guys can be able to see what I'm doing, so that's why. And I already chained 126, so go ahead and chain 126. And then once you chain 126, what you need to do, you skip the first chain from the hook, and then go ahead and slip stitch on the back loop of the chain, or the foundation chain, let me call it that way. You slip stitch back loop of the foundation chain all the way, and I'm just assuming that everybody knows how to slip stitch, so that's why I kept on doing it like so. But if you don't know, just, you know, what you need to do is just go ahead, insert a hook into the chain, and then yarn over and draw through the one loop like that. And so that's how you do the slip stitch. Insert the chain, no, insert the hook into the chain, yarn over, draw through the loop like that. Like that. So that's how you slip stitch. So for those who don't know how to slip stitch, but I assume that everybody knows how to slip stitch. And as you can see, my slip stitch are not too tight and they are not too loose, so make sure you work on your tension so you can be able to achieve the right size of your slip stitch. And because the next row we're going to crochet it differently, so you don't need too tight slip stitch and you don't need them too loose, so you need them on the right size. All right, so if you are the one who slip stitch too loose and they cannot be able to manage their tension, like their tension are too loose and not well sized, just you can use a smaller size needle, but I always recommend a bigger size needle for slip stitch than a smaller size needle, right? So whatever works for you, just go ahead and use it to achieve the right sizing. So as you can see, I'm slip stitching to the end of the round. So go ahead and slip stitch all the way to the end of the row, and that's how your work should look like. So when you come back, I'm going to show you what to do in the next round. Alright guys, to the end of the row, and as you can see, I didn't leave enough yarn. I usually like to leave 5 inches of yarn or 12.5 centimeters. So but this is not long enough, so I will recommend you at the beginning of your chain, make sure you leave about 5 inches or 12.5 centimeters. All right, so what I usually do now, we're going to turn on the next round. Okay, and what I'm going to do, I don't like my work fraying or coming out, so I will take this tip of the yarn and secure it. All right, so I'm not going to wind the yarn onto my fingers because I want to make sure you guys can be able to see what I'm doing, and I hope I'm in the center of my tutorial. All right, so what now you need to do, you get your hook. All right, so the purl area, the place that looks like the purl, should be facing you, right? And the side that looks like a knit should be facing away from you, right? So starting from the side that looks like a knit should be facing away from you. I hope that's what I said. Okay, the purl side will be facing you, and the knit side, the one that looks like a knit, will be facing away from you. So what you do, you get your hook, insert it from the side that has like a knit stitch. All right, so the side that looks like a knit, that is facing away from you, is where you insert your hook from, and you go ahead, insert it towards you, to the side that is purl. All right, and then what you need to do now, you yarn under like that, and then pull through the hook, the loop. Okay, see, so just go ahead, yarn under and pull through the loop. One more time. See, right there, you looping it. Okay, you're using this stitch right here, the top one. Okay, so when you look it at the top, it looks like this part has 2 loops, so you just get the one at the back, so you see these are the 2 loops right here, these top 2 loops, there are 2 loops right here, right? Okay, so you don't do both, you just leave this one, you don't do that one, so you do the other one, that one. All right, so go ahead, insert your hook towards you as such, yarn under and pull through like that, yarn under, pull through, yarn under, pull through. It may be slow the first time you do it, but as when you get the hang of it, it's going to be fast. So just do that all the way to the end like that. as you can see, those are your pearls. Right, look the way they look, and look at the back. So that's how your work should look like. Alright, so go ahead and do that all the way to the end. And this kind of stitch, I call it crochet slip stitch purl. So I call it a slip stitch purl. So that's how I'm going to call this stitch for now. So you just go ahead and do it that way, and then see. And this is the reason why you don't make your stitches too tight, see. And if you make them too loose, there will be a big gap in between here, which you wouldn't like. So that's why you don't make it too tight and you don't make it too loose. So you just make it right, so then it can give you the good and very nice and neat purl. All right. Okay, one thing I need to point out, when I was first doing this stitch, for some reason, when I used to, I don't know what I used to do. Yes, I can't know. Right now it's not even doing that way. It's not even doing that way. Anyway, when I started doing this stitch, for some reason, my stitches used to twist like that. Once I'm done, like it used to, let me show you, it used to be like that when I started with this stitch, but now I can't figure out what I'm not doing. So I'm just gonna show you how it looks. So I used to make it that way. As you can see, there is a big difference. You see this one, they look more straight, and this one they kind of look twisted. So when I started using this purl stitch, the slip stitch purl stitch, my stitches used to look like that. And the reason why, it's because this loop was kind of twisted. All the time I used to twist it. I don't know why I used to do that, but I can't figure out, like, I can't do it now. I don't know how I used to do it. So if this happens to you, that all the time when you're looping out or you're pulling out the last loop, it's twisted like this, just turn it around so it can be straight. Or take your needle out, your hook out, and then just pull it back in. So it's gonna happen to you because you guys, you're going to practice, or it's a new stitch to you. So it used to happen to me, and I believe it's gonna happen to 1 or 2 people. So if it happens, just go ahead and fix it that way. But now, if you do it the right way, it's not going to do the same. I don't know what I used to do that used to do it that way, but now I've gotten a hang of it. It doesn't do that way, and I can't figure out like how I used to make it, but it used to be that way, and it used to be hard for me to crochet on it. So that's why I wouldn't like you to crochet that way. All right, so just go ahead and do this stitch all the way to the end of the row. And once you get to the end of the row, I'm going to show you how to do the last stitches, and then after that we will go ahead and change to the other color, the one I'm working on. All right, so that's how it looks. So let's go ahead and do it all the way to the end, and then you come back. Okay guys, as you can see, this is how my work looks like, and these are the last 2 stitches. You can see them. You see, they are like 2 stitches, but actually when you work, make sure you work 3 of them, 1, 2, and this one. Don't forget that one. So if you don't forget this one, you will be losing 1 stitch all the time. Okay, so make sure you work. They look 2, but they are 3. So 1, 2, and this one on the corner right here. Don't forget that one. Okay, so that's what I needed to show you at the end of this area. So go ahead and work on these 3 of them. see. So work on these 3. And that one, okay, don't forget that one, very important. If you forget that one, your work will be losing a stitch all the time. All right, so now this is how the front side looks like. All right, so usually in my work I don't like to chain at the beginning most of the time, and the reason why, when I'm going to work on the edges, I usually call them salvages. You may end up adding an extra stitch that is unnecessary, so that's why I don't like to chain on my first stitch. So the rule of thumb is, if you skip one, you have to chain. If you don't skip one at the beginning of the row, don't chain. That's the rule of the thumb on my work. So if I tell you to chain, then skip the first one. If I don't tell you to chain at the beginning of the row, don't skip anything. Okay, so that's the rule of the thumb in my work. All right, so work on the back loop only, slip stitch only on the back loop, slip stitch all the way to the end, as you see. Like so, okay. All right, so now as you can see, on round 2, and the first round and the first row we do on the back loop, the second row we do the purl, the third row we do the back loop. So just maintain that sequence until you do 9 rows. So when you get to the 9th row, you come back and I'll show you what to do next. Okay, here we are. So these are the 9 rows. So as you can see how the work looks like, the side looks, and on the pulse looks like that, as you can see. All right, so why am I doing these particular stitches? The reason why I'm doing the particular stitches is sometimes when you do your beanie, sometimes it's hard for you to figure out the brim size. So this one will help you to put in between when you fold the when you fold your brim right here. We're going to fold this. You can put on an elastic in between here. All right, so it's going to make actually a tube. Okay, so in the tube you can put a drawstring, or you can put on an elastic in it, and sometimes you can use it for decoration, or if it fits you, you don't need to put anything. And also this can act as your eye cord if you want, so it can be a very good eye cord, as you can see. All right, so there is a lot of purposes of this, and that's why I wanted to show you how it's done. Okay, so if you like it, just give me credit to it, and you know, I will write a pattern to it, and then I'll post it on Ravelry, so give it some love. Okay, all right, so let's go ahead, depending on the kind of stitch you're going to use, so you can use it on the next round. All right, which is on the 10th round. But because on my pattern I'm working on I'm going to work on extended single crochet, or I have actually extended single crochet or double single crochet, so I'm going to just use that particular stitch, double single crochet or extended single crochet. So that's what I'm going to use, and make sure you start on this edge. So for the first stitch, do it differently. Just go ahead, insert on the foundation, chain, and this was the front loop that we didn't work on. So yarn over. Okay, insert into this loop right here. This is the front loop that we didn't work on. Yarn over, pull through, draw one, so you have two on the hook. Yarn over, draw the first one. It's like you chaining, you have two on the loop, and then go ahead and yarn over and draw through the two. All right, so this is how, again, we're going to repeat this. You see, on the foundation chain right here, that was the front loop that we didn't work on, and we pick up the back loop. All right, or if you want, you can pick both loops if you want, but for me, I prefer to use the only one loop on each side. So it's the front loop and the back loop, the front loop of the foundation chain and the back loop of the row 9. So just pick them, yarn over, pull through the two loops, because now you had two loops, and then yarn over, pull through one loop, yarn over, and draw through the last loop. All right, so one more time. Okay, let me see if I don't want to wind this so you can see. See, this color is kind of too dark for you guys to see the stitches. See this stitch right here, that one right there, that one, it's only one. So this is one loop, pick up the next loop. See, you have two loops. So this is the front loop of the foundation chain, and this is the back loop of the 9th row. All right, so yarn over and draw to get two loops on your hook. You're drawing through the two loops. Okay, yarn over, draw to the first loop, or chain the first loop, and then yarn over, pull through the two last loops. See, same thing, just keep on doing it. See, it's so hard. I hope it's not too hard for you to see. That's why I didn't like to use this color. I made a mistake. I should have noticed that I needed to use a lighter color for demonstration. So like that, like that. And when you're doing this, please do not skip any stitch, because if you skip a stitch on either side, it may not be able to align your work nicely. So it may be a little bit crooked or tangled or shrunk. So please just make sure you do it right. So the two loops, see, and you do it all the way to the end of the row. So just do that all the way, and in every single stitch, don't skip any, as you can see. All right, so as you can see, we're making the tube because we didn't close it up here and we didn't close it up here. But if you just need it for decoration purposes, you can close it up here, but for now we need it just in case we need to put elastic in it, or we need to put a drawstring on it. So as you can see, this is really good. We can use it for skirts, we can use it for bags, we can use it for hoodies. As now you can see, we can use it on beanies. So whatever you want to do with it, you can use it in a different way. And this is the reason why I wanted to show you about this. And it can also be an I-cord. See, it can be an I-cord. So whatever you want to do. And if you want to make it really thick, you can make it really thick, as big as you want it. So don't be afraid to try new stuff. Okay, so this is what I wanted to show you. All right, so go ahead and do this all the way. Extend single crochet or double single crochet all the way to the end. Then when you come back, I'm going to show you what to do next. Alright guys, here I come back, and you know, I hope you can see what I did. So you see, I did it that way, and I made my tube. It's really, you know, looking good. So as you can see, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you how I do my last stitches. So that's why I didn't carry it. And then, so make sure, don't stop here. You see these two right there and this right here, so make sure you do your last stitches up to that, otherwise you're going to be losing stitches, since I don't chain one, so you have to be very careful about that. So see, do your last stitch right there, as you can see. Go ahead, and then okay, you know, insert the hook and these two stitches right here, yarn over, draw to one loop, and now I'm going to use the second yarn. So when I'm changing the yarn, I stop right there in the last two loops, and I'm going to leave at least maybe 5 inches of yarn. So I'm just going to cut this color, and I'm going to join a different color. I'm going to join this second color right here, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to leave also just a few inches, like maybe 5 inches or less, and draw through the last two loops, as you can see. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to make sure my work is really secure. So I will pull this yarn to the other side, and this other tail also, I'll put it to the side. So when I crochet on top of them. Actually no, let me turn my work first, sorry. You know, you turn your work, and then make sure you move it to the opposite side. See, this one, you can pull it on the other side, and this one, I'm doing this one because I just want it to be secure so it doesn't come out. So what I do with this one, I just pull it to the other side, both of them, and then you get the yarn that you're going to use, just crochet to the next stitch. So I don't chain, I'm not chaining, and I'm not skipping any stitch right here. I'm going to start at the beginning right here, right? Okay, so I extended single crochet the first stitch. So what I'm going to do, this yarn I will leave it because I'm going to use it when the work is done, but this one I just left it because I don't want anything to come loose, so I have to secure it because I don't make knots. So what I'm going to show you how I tie in my extra yarns as I go. So this one I will do it that way, between the stitches, between the two loops, like that. Like this, and then I just draw it, you draw it all the way. So you just pull through it, don't just tie them in a random areas, it doesn't matter which one, so just tie them in random areas so to secure them properly. So that's how I'm going to secure. See, they're all secure, they won't come out. And then on this last part, I make sure I draw it in between the two loops, like not two loops, like in between the two loops, I draw it in one of them, like that, so I can hide it. I can hide the tails completely. And then if this little part shows, I will cut it with my scissors. And the reason why I do this, it will take a long time for it to untangle to the first stitch, so I have enough of it secured. Okay, so that's how I secure it. But if the next row is going to be a slip stitch, don't do this. Okay, if the next row is going to be a slip stitch, don't do that. Do what I did to the last stitches right here, and if you're going to slip stitch on the back row, make sure you secure it to the back row, don't secure it on the front row. All right, so just to let you know, but otherwise that's how I do it. All right, so now what we're doing next we're going also to extend single crochet to the next round, but this time I did the first stitch already, so this time this is what we're going to do. Instead of single crocheting in between these two stitches right here on these two loops, we single crochet in between this inverted V right there. I don't think you can see properly, so let me just do this one first and then get to the middle of this, and then I can show you. All right, here we go. All right, you see this area right here? See this stitch right here? It has this side, the middle part, and this other side. So just go ahead and single crochet in between right there, extend single crochet right there, or double single crochet in there. As you can see, just do it all the way to the end of row like that. As you can see, this yarn is completely buried in here, so you can't even notice whether it's in there. So that's how I do my yarn weaving in the ends of my yarn. So as you can see, so that's how we do it. So you kind of just go ahead and single crochet, extend single crochet or double single crochet in between this area right here on the inverted V. There is a loose area right here, so that's where you do it. Don't do it on this space right here, don't do it there, just do it right here. All right, so do it, and then I'll see you when I come back. At part 2 of the video, so I will see you when I'm doing the second part of the video. So we are all done with the part 1 of the video. All right, so and this is how your work should look like at the end of part 1. All right, so, and guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. So subscribe, like, share, tell your friends. So, and then let's get the new techniques.